already started and I'm already... What'd you say? I said we just started and I'm already because I'm already relaxed.
Yeah, sorry. My whisper has that effect on Maddie.
Every time we start it's like... never mind, I'll just go ahead.
Yeah, so we thought we would do some Valentine's Day themed videos so that we could create content for people to enjoy potentially on Valentine's Day.
Super special.
That way, if you're looking for some relaxation or inspiration on Valentine's Day, comfort, you can hang out with us. Okay, you're just gonna do that now. Alright,
Sorry, just noticed the dent. Do you see? It's
the
color.
You smeared it off earlier. It didn't fade. I watched you do it.
You know what? Mind your own business. No one asked you. You just put me to sleep right now.
You're welcome. Yeah, so we actually already created a couple of videos, one of which will be on Maddie's Patreon, and another that will be on her YouTube channel. And
Super exciting.
this is our third Valentine's Day episode, so if you want, you can spend all night Valentine's Day hanging out with us. And on Maddie's Patreon today, she actually started a new tier for the first time, right? You've always had one tier, and now there are two tiers. So if you're not familiar with Maddie's Patreon, for $3 a month you get 7 extra videos, ASMR videos, and I don't remember what kind they are. There's a vlog, there's a beauty, there's 3 close-ups.
Yeah,
I do know all of them.
You do. You're the best boyfriend I've never had.
Hold on, I'm not there yet. So
Can you pull the other two though?
then, okay, hold on. Vlog, beauty, 3 close-ups, a random trigger, and a say my patron's name. And this is why I'm her Valentine.
Yeah.
And in
You
this
know,
new
I've always had, well, what once was a few moments ago, this ice box where my heart used to be. I got this ice box where it used to be, but
it melted.
it melted and my heart is there because you just told me that you memorized all my Patreon information. I've never felt so listened to.
You're welcome.
No, that's actually so lovely. I didn't know that you knew any of that. That's so sweet. I'm not being facetious, by the way. Plot twist.
I have a bad memory, so I'm also impressed.
I'm so impressed.
But in this new tier, Maddie is going to be doing intimate live streams. So, she's capping it at 250 members, and that way, because sometimes this happened last time you did a live stream, and I wrote something, and it was hilarious, and she didn't even notice, because it got lost in the shuffle.
Got lost in the sea of sweet friends.
Right, so,
But
this
now
is gonna
it's
be
more
smaller.
intimate. Yeah, smaller, intimate. So that's really exciting. And also, thank you for mentioning that. That's so, so sweet.
Of course.
You don't have to mention that. I feel so special.
She is so special. I mean, this is just the beginning of what I'm gonna do for you for Valentine's Day. Because you're
Girl, if you keep playing your cards right.
I intend to. Yeah, so what are we doing? Oh, so today we thought it would be a fun idea to play a game of put a finger down.
Yeah.
And I found a TikTok audio that is a put a finger down challenge that I have not listened to yet. So we shall see how this goes. I wanted it to be authentic. And it was like, are you the fuckboy? Plot twist. So this is to figure out if,
well, first off, I will say, neither of us are the fuckboys. But if you watch the video over on my YouTube channel, for Valentine's Day, over there, we told the story of how we, for the past 2 years, have had the same Valentines. We spent it with the same guy.
well,
1 year she spent it with him, and the next year I spent it with him. So needless to say, we only fuck with whores. We're toxic,
to say the least.
but we're very self-aware.
That was in the old time.
That's listen, baby. That was in the old timeline. Me and Lavette, we're new. We are so new people. New us. Scouts honor.
Yep, new year, new timeline.
I mean, sorry, they have a mind of their own. Scouts honor.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm actually really excited. We've had TikTok audio. Let's go.
Let's see. Okay, so
This is actually such a good idea.
that this is hooked up to here.
Also, the difference of Yvette's TikTok to mine is so funny. Mine is all edits of beautiful Marvel men and vampire men and just fictional characters and such. And Yvette's is beautiful woo-woo and
It's psychology and spirituality.
I mean, don't get me wrong, she has some beautiful creatures on there too.
I follow
Don't you
actual creators though, and not edit
Oh,
accounts.
I don't follow creators because I don't like real life people. I like fake fictional characters. Real people, no thank you. Vampire, come my way. I'm here.
Okay, so here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So start with 10 fingers.
Okay.
And now it's not playing.
Let me do so with no hands. Girl, drop it to the floor. I love the way that booty goes. All I wanna do is sit back, watch it move while I proceed to the smash. All that in nose.
It's not.
It's okay. I'm improvising for you. I'm singing.
Thank you.
I'm literally
Sorry, my
singing
TikTok.
Waka Flocka with no hands.
I appreciate it.
Okay, what else? What else should I sing for?
That sad song you were just listening to.
Oh my god, no, we're not
You're
doing
right,
any
you're
of that
right.
here.
Okay, yeah.
This is high energy.
Yeah.
This is high energy, so what am I gonna bring to the table?
Oh, did you?
That jarred my ears. No, it didn't actually jar my ears, but I
definitely jarred
but
mine.
I feel for you.
Okay.
Been there, done that.
Okay, so it says, ladies, this is for you. Are you a fuck girl? There we go.
Are you doing it too?
Yeah. So she says, if you have more than 5 fingers down at the end of this, you might be the fuckboy. And I just want to interject that while we're not fuckboys, but we are totally West Coast Caleb. No, thank you. Is my nipple hanging out?
I don't know, but if it was, you're welcome.
Thanks. We're West Coast Caleb, though. That's the thing. We're West Coast Caleb. Okay,
Yvette,
we don't actually go on dates.
No.
So that's the difference.
And we don't have intimate conversations, but
Yeah,
you
man,
give us
I
the
don't-
ick automatically, we're like, X.
Yeah. So West Coast Caleb, in case you don't know, is this guy on the East Coast on TikTok who, I guess he sends everybody the same
Waterloo. Plot twist, Yvette. I don't, she's not making me need to drink today. She's tolerable. Honey, I'm not gonna leave you today.
Thank
You are being tolerable.
I appreciate that.
Jokes.
So, do you see what I put up with for mine? I only fuck with the whores. I'm toxic. This is my Valentine's, ladies and gentlemen. What was that? Okay, West Coast Caleb. So West Coast Caleb has dated everyone in New York, I guess. This gal posted on TikTok about this guy she met on a dating app and what happened, and then other people were like, oh my god, I know goes on dates with everybody in New York City, Maddie sends them all the same playlist, I guess, which we don't do that.
No, but we don't have like a real conversation with these guys.
Right, but he goes on these dates. Thank you. Thanks.
I won't mess up your makeup.
So he goes on these dates, and we don't do that. But then he ghosts people. And when you look at our dating things, it's like it's your turn. It's your turn. It's your turn. It's your turn. Your turn. Your turn. Your turn. So we try to engage with people, and
then a nice motto is, baby, we could have had something good, but you had to like open your mouth. You had to like respond.
Right.
You could have just.
My personal motto is, if you're boring, just say that.
Mine is we could have had something good, but you opened your mouth. You gave me the ick. We're done. So you want to meet me in person automatically. Okay, buddy. Okay, I get the appeal.
Right.
I get the appeal, baby.
But it's like a pandemic, guys.
And even but aside from a pandemic, I am not going on a date with you after we've been like,
hi, how
are you?
Yeah, no, I want to connect, like, in some kind of way, like, mentally would be fine, emotionally would be okay, spiritually would be amazing.
Yeah, but then you add a pandemic on, and it just goes to show that we don't align.
Yeah.
We're not aligning then.
Right.
So it's a no for me and my best Simon Cow.
Yeah. And that's why we're West Elm Caleb. Whoops, sorry, so I feel for you, Caleb, wherever you are.
We're so sorry if you're one of the people that wear West Elm. We're so sorry. Livette and I don't mean it, baby. We don't mean it. It's nothing personal.
Right, well, it'd be more interesting, I don't know. To show up and be in alignment and keep showing up even though I ghost you, I don't know.
And don't push me to go on a date automatically. No.
Yeah, it's a no for me. No. Okay, so let's find out if we're fuck girls.
I can do it with my hand. Girl, jump into the pool.
Okay, put a finger down if you're always Snapchatting 3 or more people all the time just because you're bored.
Also, if a man over 30 gives you a Snapchat, red flag and run. Just saying, run.
Okay, so we both have our fingers up at this point. Oops. Put a finger down if you've ever talked to someone that you're not interested in at all, just to distract yourself from the person that you are interested in. Okay. You're still thinking. I'm good. Okay, great. This is going well. Put a finger down if you ghost people the second that you start to sense things getting more serious.
Sorry, won't stay out.
This is not you.
No,
at all.
No, I don't fucking do that. You would have to have like actual good interaction with someone for that. No, I don't. Listen, baby, I don't get that far. No.
Put a finger down if you've dated 3 or lose interest. By the way, I'm doing this because there's a scary looking injury on the inside of my wrist. And I don't want to explain it anymore, trigger people here. I'll put my fingers in. Sorry. So awkward.
No. Is it okay that I'm doing this?
Yes, please. Okay, so put a finger down. If you agree, you can do it again. Your wrist isn't injured.
Okay, I can do it this way.
What did she say? Put a finger down if you agree to plans that you have no intention in keeping, and then cancel at the last minute. I don't wait till the last minute to cancel though.
No. And
That's
no,
almost.
I don't get that far. No.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No.
I burned myself, by the way, on my wrist, but it just looks
On a
terrible.
fire.
Yeah. Not a
That
fire,
just
a
happens.
fireplace.
That just happens to look really bad.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen Awkward, Jenna Hamilton, she's Jenna Hamilton, just know that that's basically what you would assume, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, it's not self-harm, but it looks like it.
And by the way, we're not making light of self-harm.
That's why I'm trying to keep it on my brain.
It's about the show Awkward. If anyone's seen Awkward, it's just hysterical because she was being so clumsy.
Right.
I'm sorry, my bra is messing up so much. This is why I just don't wear
It's a
bras.
fun Valentine's Day. My shirt's falling off.
My bra's falling. My bra's falling.
Yeah.
It's okay. This is real. This is real life. We don't really care to, like, shit happens. It's okay. Just okay. I think I'm good.
Okay, we are so in the clear because it was. There's 10
was that it?
questions. No, I think there's one more. Look, we haven't put any fingers down. We're amazing. Here we go.
Well, clearly I knew that before. Didn't have to take that spoken test. I'm sorry, I had carbonated water.
Okay, put a finger down. If you've ever been talking to your friends about a guy and they had to ask, wait, which guy are we talking about?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but it's because I
haven't
can't.
met
We're West Elm Caleb.
Yeah.
We're West Elm Caleb. Yes. So I'm like, oh my god, server with the tortilla.
Yeah, right. Or the guy you made the bug video for.
So good. So good. I was like, what do you say? He was like, he's like, I recently like started putting bugs outside. First off, please put bugs outside. I always do it. Anyways, I was like, I'll volunteer tribute to help you put the bugs outside because there's nothing worse. I know you've been there. You put a bug in a cup and put a piece of paper on top, and then the door's closed, and you're like, what am I gonna do? This bug's
can't go
gonna
outside.
I can't go outside. I can't set this bitch down. Like, what am I gonna do? Well, still the yoga skills. That's where that shit comes in. That is where that shit comes in. So, me, I can have a bug in hand. I have bug in hand.
She literally, I made her get a glass
Yeah.
to do this. So she got
I
a glass
have,
and a piece of paper.
yeah, and with my stealthy yoga
Just
skills,
to-
I like, I
To
used
open an
it
already
to
open door.
an already open door. But I'm sure I could do it if it was closed. Just give me some time.
Oh, well, no, that door is like, I can barely open that door with my
But
hands. It's
Yvette and I laughed so hard. It was so funny. Like, I'm like, I'll send you in an audition tape. Like, I will be your sidekick. Here's my audition tape. Anyways, like,
But you haven't sent him the tape and we made it for, because.
no, because he was like an in-person audition.
Yeah, right.
Like, we could have been so good. We could have been
Maddie's boring, so just say that.
Yeah.
So
Or
that-
actually, it might be a little too interesting, and I don't want that. Get it?
It's gonna kill the show. Oh.
No. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That escalated.
Well, that's not what you were thinking.
I was thinking murder, and you were thinking...
I mean, no, listen, I'm sure whatever Bundy had planned, I don't want to know, but
what else were we gonna do? Oh, we're gonna do our worst date stories. You have two?
I guess that I have two.
Alright, okay, I only have one. Let me think of another one. You go first.
Okay, are we, okay.
Go.
Okay, there are
Go
two.
with your runner-up. So
No, but there's two different. Do you want to hear the worst date that I ruined, or the worst date in which the other person ruined it?
let's hear the other person then, yeah.
So I was in high school, and I had been talking to this guy who lived. I'm from small town Texas, and this guy was from another small town Texas. So we had to drive like 40 minutes into where I was.
How did you guys connect?
We knew mutual people, but we started like actually exchanging numbers through social media. He was super cute. Like he had a full-on beard.
When you were so old.
Well, but I never dated anyone my own age.
Right.
So he was like 19. I think I was 15.
Still a beard at 19 is impressive.
Yeah. Anyways, he had such a nice body. He had such a nice body. He was beautiful. He was a cowboy. I've only ever referred to him as cowboy. I never actually call him by his real name.
To his face, you were like, hey, cowboy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not actually to his face, but like
To his social media.
No, I don't know if in person I was like, hey, cowboy again, because in person wasn't fun. But we stayed friends for a little bit after our bed in person. Anyway, so just know this guy is beautiful. Like, he has such a chiseled jaw. He has a good beard going for him. Good cowboy hat. He was a rancher. I think it was rancher. Anyways, I can't remember exactly what form of agriculture he did. Anyways, so he's like, I'm gonna come into town and see you today. I was super excited.
Your whisper's making me tired now.
Is it?
Yeah. Your guys look tired too. I think we're making you too tired.
Well, it is like almost 3 a.m., so that might also be the reason. So he comes into town. I was excited to see him, but I had so much anxiety, as I always do. Nothing new. And anyways, I was so nervous because he was so cute, and I felt that I had never really dated someone that cute before. So
How tall are you, Maddie?
I am 5'2", maybe 5'3". Anyways, yeah. Thank you for pointing that out.
Did he know how tall you were?
I don't know. Like, it's never been a big thing to me, so I've just never really asked. it's Texas. Guys think that it's a big flex, and it's not. It's not cute. It's not attractive. Not fun. Any of that. So, anyways, I'm watching this guy literally jump down onto the floor out of his pickup, and he like jumps, and it's a good ways down for him to jump because he's so tiny.
How does he get into the pickup?
I don't know. So he jumps down, and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't know the cowboy was a leprechaun. I didn't know he was a leprechaun. So we go.
You said he's taller than you, but like not by much.
Yeah, he was taller than me, but not by a lot.
Yeah.
So he's
shorter than me, right?
I had oh my, yeah, 1000%. Yes, he was maybe 5'4", 5'5", if that maybe. But again, you just have to like, not that that's an issue. I just wasn't expecting it.
Well, so wait, what kind of shoes were you wearing?
Boo, I'm always in like Denise flats, whatever. It's not like I had heels on.
I mean,
I was in
probably a cowboy boots, right?
I was in probably sandals, and he was in boots. Thank you.
Which had a couple inches.
So that says it. So,
he's
anyways,
probably your height.
we go upstairs, and I'm like, okay, let's walk the dog. So I go outside to walk the dog, and this guy grabs me by the hips, and he pulls me in aggressively, and he sticks his tongue down my throat, and I'm like, oh, like you might be calling me Pookie, but more like Pukey, like.
Yeah, he was molesting
This
your
guy,
tonsils.
it was so aggressive though. I'm like, oh my god, like get off me. So then
and you wonder why we don't want to meet in person.
I know, exactly. So that's God. Don't ever do that. Ever. So then we go upstairs, and we're sitting on the couch in the living room, and I'm so uncomfortable by this guy that I said, hey, will you help me with my algebra homework? And I go to sit at the dining room table.
You didn't tell me that.
I swear to God, yeah, because I was so creeped out by him that I didn't want to sit next to him on the couch. So I'm like,
was he good at algebra?
So I said, will you help me with my algebra homework? And he's like 19 years old, and I can't remember if he did or not, but eventually, like, there was too much time that he was staying there, so eventually we moved to the couch, and he does this. So we're sitting on the couch just like this, and I'm cowboy. So he's looking at me, and he has crystal blue, beautiful crystal blue eyes, beautiful blonde hair, crystal blue eyes. And so he's looking at me like intensely, like there's no fluctuating, and he's just kind of looking up and down my face, like just kind of examining my features, but intensely. And then all of a sudden he does this. Ready for this?
I don't think
He grabs my face, not in a cute way, like not a gentle, like not a light like that. It wasn't like a light like that type situation.
that was nice.
It was this. It was like this, I swear to God. He grabs my face like this, and he goes, I will never leave you. Do you hear me? Ever.
I forgot about this story because earlier today you were like, no one's ever been excited about me. No one's ever.
Oh yeah, sure, Ted Bundy was excited about me. I forgot. Sorry to tell you that I did excite one man, and his name was Ted Bundy. Sorry that I excited Tom, or I forgot about that. So he like grabs my face. It's not even cute, and he's just like pushing it. Like my eyes, I can barely see. By the way, like he's pushing them so close that I can't even see because he's squishing my face, and it's not a joke. He's so serious. And then he leaves, and he goes to drive back home, and he calls me, and I remember going and sitting in my closet floor and to talk on the phone, and he goes, in order for us to get married, you're gonna have to convert to Church of Christ. You're gonna have to convert to Church of Christ. And I said, listen, it's not gonna work out. It's a no for me. and I, like, that was the end of it.
Thank God. Oh my God.
Right then and there. So anyways, that was my, just like,
That's a bad one.
that was a fun one. Yeah, that was a fun one.
I only have one terrible date
What's
story.
your terrible date story?
And
I'm sorry,
I think,
once again, gonna be fixing my bro. I'm sorry.
I know, I feel like I should
It's okay, it's okay.
Not 100% of the
I
time.
know, mine's so bad. It's okay. Just, I'm sorry.
Okay, so in my story, both people aren't great. So yours, that guy was not great. Your next one, you're not great. Mine, it's both. And I really don't have any other impressively bad date stories. So this story is about another. Okay, no. I have a thing with S's, right? There's too many S's in my previous timeline, and I'm trying really hard to like not engage with people whose name starts with the letter S anymore. Which is funny, actually, because both of the people that I'm talking to on a dating app right now, name starts with S. I can't get away from that.
No, God, no.
I know.
God, no, in my best Steve Carell office, no.
I have literally like swiped left just because of S names.
Which you should.
This was years ago, and this story isn't about an alliteration of S's. This story is about Oliver Stone's son, Sean Stone.
No, you're good with name dropping.
I lived in LA. So Sean and I met in LA, and my mom was
Wait, what?
Sean Stone.
Okay, sorry.
So my mom was like, marry him, because he's super hot. You would think he's super hot. He's older and cute.
Oh, that's all you had to say. Older.
Yeah.
My type.
There, I'll show you a picture. And my mom was like, he's gorgeous. He's Oliver Stone's son. Like, what are you doing? And we hung out a couple times. He's very woo-woo, which obviously intrigues me, but he is... Here, do you want to just browse? He's really into like ghost hunting and stuff and paranormal stuff, so I had moved out of LA by this point. I guess he's got a type. He's cute, right? I don't know, we just like...
He looks kind of like Brody Jenner.
He looks a little bit like Seth, another S.
Sorry, boo, you got a type.
I know. Yeah, well,
Anyways,
not
proceed.
working out. So, we hung out a couple times in LA. You okay?
Yeah, just sneezed.
Bless you. And it never really went anywhere. And then I was living in the Bay Area, and he was in San Francisco shooting some paranormal documentary movie or something. And he was like, we should meet up. And so we did, and we went to a bar. It was really cute, interesting looking, very pretty bar, with like a lot of deep, rich red colors, but it was like too loud or something, I can't remember. We weren't there long, and he was like, yeah, let's get out of here, this is fine. So we go we're walking by Dolores Park in San Francisco, and he I guess he's trying to like break the gap of physicality between us, because by this point we've hung out several several times, and we've like never even kissed. I like to take things painfully slow. It's kind of my kink. That really does it for me. But it's hard to find people who share that kink. See, Maddie's bored already.
No, shut up. Stop it.
So, in an attempt, I assume, to break this like barrier of touching, he tickles me. And I'm like, excuse me, sir, do not fucking tickle me. And then he does it a little while later again.
Oh my god.
And I'm warning you now. If you tickle me a third time, I will punch you in the face. Well, as we all know, I am a woman of my word. I guess Sean didn't know this about me. So he tickles me a third fucking time. And I've given him like a speech like, I am a grown-ass woman. You do not tickle grown women, like especially after they tell you, do not tickle me. I'm so ticklish. I'm painfully ticklish. I have actually accidentally broken noses on more than one occasion for being tickled. Like one time I was putting my hair up and someone came up behind me and tickled me, and I just like flailed my elbows and like broke the person's nose.
You and my brother both. God,
I'm so ticklish. I don't like being tickled.
but Aubrey's not even like that. It's only if you just like touch his back, he freaks.
Interesting.
Anyways, go ahead.
So he tickles me a third time, and I'm like, damn it, I don't want to hit this guy in the face. You know, I really wanted the threat to be enough, but now I'm obligated to, because either I'm the kind of person that hits somebody in the face, or I'm a liar. So obviously, I would rather be the person that hit Oliver Stone's son in the face, which I am.
This all tracks.
So, it's like the loosest fist I can make, because I said I would punch him in the face, right? And I hit him like that, like super lightly, but still, I pushed someone in the face on a date. Not the best.
I love this.
It goes on. So, he finally stops tickling me, thank God, which is great. But then we're walking by Dolores Park, and I'm like, let's cross the street. And he's like, why? And I'm like, we need to cross the street now. And he's like, no, we're gonna walk on this side of the street. And I'm like, I'm gonna go over there. And he's like, why are you being like this? Why are you doing this? And I'm like, because there is a man masturbating over there. And he looks and he sees there's a man. And I'm like, it's not a big deal. Let's just, go this way. It's fine. He's like, how are you so okay with this? And I'm like, it's not my first rodeo. And he's like, what? And I'm like, I've seen people masturbating in public before. In fact, like a couple years before, I was in, my ex had like an F-150, a big lifted truck. He was not a tiny man. He was very tall. And very handsome. Anyway, so that brief dabbing interruption. We gotta wrap this up because this phone's gonna die. So, he's like, what do you mean you've seen people masturbating in public before? And I'm like, yeah, it's actually happened to me, like, more than once. One time, in the big lifted truck, I'm on my way to get my cast removed. My leg is broken. And this guy, I'm at a stoplight, and the guy in the car next to me is masturbating. My boyfriend freaks out. He's like, what the fuck? I'm like, just roll the window up. The windows are dark. It's fine. And another time in a grocery store. Anyway, in public, but
You just do it for him.
Sean Stone had a theory, and this is where the date gets really interesting. He's like,
let's hear Sean Stone's theory.
He's like, you know what this means, right? And I'm like, men are creeps, and I should stay inside my house. Obviously, I believe it's the take-home message. And he's like, you were a witch in a sex cult in a past life, and you have demonic sex energy. And I'm like, oh, interesting. You don't say. Like, maybe it's something else. He's like, no, I'm getting this. That's what's going on here. Like, I'm tapping into something, and I'm here to tell you that you have demonic sex energy karma. So that was, the date didn't last a lot longer after that. I mean,
I don't know why, but you sound really ungrateful for Sean's energy and hypotheses that he was giving you.
that's what my mom thought. You're right. So, sorry, Mom.
You sound really ungrateful right now.
But honestly, my mom was right about everything, so I guess I probably should have married Sean Stone. I don't know. But where do you go from there? Like, although I will say that the most interesting psychic I've ever talked to, who will not accept any money for her craft, she says it's wrong, and she told me so many things about me that she could not have known, and I hadn't been played to it like at all. I wasn't like, oh my god, yeah. She's like, you almost died when you were born. I was like, mm-hmm. And I was born blue. I almost died. Anyway, she was like, I don't do past life stuff, but you should find someone who does, because there's past life stuff that like would be really good for you to hear and know and figure out. So maybe Sean Stone is right, and that's why I'm single. I don't know. So that was my worst date ever, I think.
That's pretty bad. That is
but
pretty
like,
bad.
Totally worth the story.
No, I mean, that's a wonderful story.
Yeah.
I like that story. I punched my sister's boyfriend one time, if that counts.
Why?
Have I never told you?
I don't remember.
My sister was on the room, and there was a bar in the kitchen. So let's say this is the bar, and he was sitting right there, and I was sitting right here, and we were kind of facing each other almost, and he kept saying things about Grace, like crude, jokey things, but like, I'll let someone say that shit about me, but not about my siblings, no. And, but he was just a creep douchebag, and I said, don't say another word, don't talk about my sister like that again, and he did again. I said, I'm gonna punch you in your face, don't do it again. Like a woman of my word. I looked at him, I cocked back really fucking good, and I punched the shit out of his face. And my mom ran around the counter, and she had to physically pull me off of this douchebag. She's like, okay, Maddie. So anyways, now
How old were you?
I was 15. It was just, I hated that. God, he was a douche. Like, not just like, oh, he was pissing me off. Like, I told him, don't say another word about her. Don't say it. Don't say it. And he did it again, and I punched the shit out of him. Now, I have only ever been in one other physical altercation, which was more of me getting jumped at church. Other story for a different time. So I don't know how to properly punch, and so my wrist was bent when I went to sock him, and because I punched him from the side, so I should have decked him straight on, but I decided that I was going to bend my wrist, sad. There were these guys. There was this guy that wouldn't stop sexually harassing my sister, and my sister didn't know. She was actually upset that I did it, but I don't care. I took screenshots of everything that he had ever said to her, and I found his mom on Facebook, and I sent it to her.
Oh, wow. And then did she write back?
I can't remember.
That's hilarious.
But I did send it.
Okay, I just want to challenge, since it is Valentine's Day, this stance that you have where you will stick up for your siblings but not yourself. Maybe in the new timeline, also stick up for Maddie. And
yes,
the easiest way,
which is true,
for me to do that is to conceptualize myself as a child. So like make an age for your inner child. I think it's different for everyone. For some people it's 2, 3, mine is 8. And like I will fucking go bananas for 8-year-old Yvette. I don't let people, I don't let people tickle her. Or talk to her a certain way, and maybe that can help you.
The thing is that it's not an issue that I can't stick up for myself. It's a thing of, and it's not that I don't value myself. It's about like I'm like whatever, say whatever you want. I don't care to put the energy towards it.
Do you feel that way about 8-year-old Maddie?
I mean, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Like because
what about
again,
4-year-old?
But again, all of these there's never really ever been, if I need to actually defend myself, then I'll actually defend myself. It's just that I don't care to waste my energy on flies. So I'm like, whatever, you're just like the fly bugging the cattle within the feedlot, like, move.
It's always back to feedlots with you.
I know. You're just the fly bugging the cattle in the feedlot. But if it's something big enough, then I'll for sure stick up for myself. It's just that when it comes to certain things, I'm like, whatever.
Are you sure about that? Vampire's cake.
That's funny. It's funny.
It's funny right
It was
now
funny.
because I'm making fun of somebody
it
else.
wasn't. It was funny then. I still think it was funny.
We need to work on that with your therapist. Okay.
He thought it was funny.
Your therapist doesn't know that story.
I'm sure he will think it's funny. It's a funny one.
Okay. What about the date that you messed up? Your worst date.
I was 14 years old. And we were driving from my house to his house.
Because he's older,
My mom is taking us.
Oh, okay.
He was older, yes, but only by a year. Actually, I think he was 2 years older, actually, than I was, but only a grade year. Like a grade older, but 2 years older. So we're living in middle of nowhere, small town, Texas, and we're driving from one small middle of nowhere Texas to the next middle of nowhere small town Texas, and we decide that we're gonna stop for lunch, but it was really early, so this little restaurant had just opened, and so it was my mom, my boyfriend, and myself.
So you guys have been going out for a while? This isn't like a first date thing.
What?
You guys have been going out for a while?
No.
Oh. No. You met, you were like, do you want to be my boyfriend?
We went to school together, so we knew each other.
Okay.
It was just that, like, yeah, but this is like our first,
okay.
like, this was supposed to be like it, like, I think I was expecting like a first kiss type situation, not after this one, no. And now I understand why, my bad, I take full responsibility, but again, funny enough, I'll take the L. So anyways, it had just opened, so this restaurant has no one in it, and we sit down, we're looking at our food, and this old cowboy comes up, this old was just trying to embarrass me. But she was like, Maddie, get down on the ground and do the thing. Just do it right here in the middle of the restaurant. And I think she's just trying to irritate, embarrass me, mess with me. And so I'm like ignoring her, like laughing it off, like, shut the fuck up, Mom. You're ruining this for me.
Thing?
Well, yes, but wait for the thing. That's all that was said.
Okay. But you knew what she meant.
I knew what she meant, yes.
Okay.
I knew what she meant.
Which was?
Just wait. So, because the series is very important of every step. So, this old cowboy leans over to me. And he doesn't actually look at me. He's still looking at his menu. I swear to God. He's still looking at his menu, but he leans over to me and he goes, I'll give you $50 to do whatever she's telling you to do right now. Just like that. So
He
imagine,
sounds hilarious.
he just leans over out of all the places
That's
in this empty restaurant. You're right next to us.
Oh God, I really.
So okay, right? I'll give you $50 to do whatever she's asking you to do on the floor right now.
You said it on the floor. That part made it creepy.
But my mom did do what she's asking you to, but my mom had already said get down in the middle of the floor in the restaurant right now. So I automatically, I look and I'm like, no brainer, right? So I get up. I don't even look at this fool that I'm on a date with. I get the fuck up. I get down on the ground, and unfortunately, I will show you what it was. It was a regurgitating cat. Okay,
how did this become the thing?
Scoot over. It was because it was a bit that I had been doing. So I get down on the middle of the floor in the restaurant and I do this. So imagine you're on like your first date with a girl and your date does this. And imagine an old creepy cowboy's watching you and paying you to do this.
You're gonna go this way.
I know. Okay, so it's basically cat, cow, yoga pose. So I'm doing this, but I'm going.
Okay, no, but turn
like
around.
acting. But yeah, but
face me.
But my chest. Oh, you want to see my
Your face.
I'm having a bra malfunction here.
Portrait malfunction.
Okay, so it's cat, cow, and I'm doing this. I was doing a regurgitated cat, so I'm going cat, cow, going. So I'm going.
It is the best first date story I've ever heard. What is your date doing?
I'm down on the ground and I'm doing cat, cow, yoga pose. But it's supposed to be a regurgitating cat.
Right, yeah.
Because I'm not cool enough to be doing yoga yet. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Okay. So I'm going, right.
Yeah.
And the cowboy. The cowboy.
It's like best $50 I ever spent.
So the cowboy, he's watching me. My mom's dying. My date, I will never forget, sitting back at the table, and he's like, he's not cracking a smile. He's not laughing. He doesn't find any of this funny. But this cowboy, he looks at me and he goes, wow. And he pulls out his wallet and he goes, "The best $50 I ever spent." He goes, and he lays it on the table next to me. He goes, "Good job. You did a good job."
I nailed it.
I was like, yes. Wow. So listen, I may have lost a boyfriend and taken an L and not gotten my first kiss because of that, but
Hashtag worth it.
Worth it. And again, like I said, if it's funny enough, I'll do it. That's hysterical. I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. That's funny. That's hysterical.
Okay.
And I sat back up at that table like it was nothing. Like it was nothing.
Honestly,
I'm like, okay, breadsticks.
That's a good.
Anyone hungry? I'm starving. I just puked up all my food.
That's a good litmus test, though, because obviously now we know that boyfriend had no sense of humor. And like,
I would love to talk to him now and ask him if he remembers that.
How's
You
it
know,
work?
when he doesn't. I can't. Like, I just keep waiting. Like, for some text one day to go, "Hey, remember ... I just keep waiting. Nothing. Nothing ever.
So if you're watching, I hope to hear your version of the story.
I to hear your version. Anyway, so I did that.
That's great. I think that's the best one out of all three of the stories we just went over. That's
so if you've ever wondered about your sweet friend Maddie and just how far she'll go to take the L for the laugh.
Yeah. It's a good rule.
Oh, so anyways.
I wanted to pull a card and then wrap this up before the phone dies. Thank you for sharing your beautiful, vulnerable, hilarious story.
So anyways, if an old cowboy ever asks you to get down on the ground and do what your mom's asking you to do, do it. Do it. Moral of the story, do it.
That's what I learned. Maddie just got these cards and I'm obsessed. They're so perfect.
I like, can you do a little tapping? I like it.
I don't have anything else right now.
It's okay, I like it. You do so good.
That's the pads of mine.
Yours is so much better.
I like yours. And mine, that's just
How do the pads of your fingers sound like that? And mine don't sound like that.
Because you're a ghost. That must be that vampire blood.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if your video gets flagged because I was a regurgitating cat.
Hashtag worth it. As long as you got to see it, so I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming.
Are you picking a card for them or are we picking separate cards and then just doing them? Since I drew a card over there, what do you want to do? This is your video. We'll let it go for it.
I think in the interest of Valentines, it should be some kind of love-oriented card. But I think everybody should sort of ask their own questions. So maybe it's...
Wait, but what I'm asking, are you drawing a card and I'm drawing a card?
Getting to that.
Okay. Sorry,
This card jumped out at me. Okay, so you guys are invited to ask your own question. I give you the prompt of love. It could be about the love of your pet or your work family or your family or your romantic life. Mine is about my romantic life. Maddie, what's yours about? So I have two questions at home. I'm just going to assume that yours is also about my romantic life. Go ahead.
It's about my romantic life.
What'd you get? Ooh, the offering.
Oh, mine's the offering.
Aren't these beautiful?
They're just such beautiful. What's yours?
The nectar.
Let's see it. that as a body heat that I am sitting next to her. Thanks. Going to be so fitting. Candles. Sorry.
The nectar, the medicine, the elixir, the garden. That's what I pulled the other day in Santa Cruz, was the garden.
You did?
Remember?
Yeah.
In Hindu mythology, there is a miraculous substance known as amrit, or nectar, that contains infinite healing power. This golden nectar, or secret elixir, is the drink of immortality, and, like its sister substance, soma, is known to activate subtle, intelligent forces that ease the mind, body. Are you okay?
I just went to put my head down.
And it fell
It's
off
okay.
your spine.
Yeah, go ahead.
This golden nectar, or sacred elixir, is the drink of immortality, and, like its sister substance, soma, is known to activate subtle, intelligent forces that ease the mind, body, or spirit. Though esoteric, these images lead us to the central energy of this archetype, the sweet, potent, heavenly essence that lubricates our spirit back to life. Oh, this sounds good. The nectar card calls us to identify and relish in places, practices, and people, and activities that regenerate and heal. Medicine is needed, and it comes in subtle forms that you may be overlooking. Seek the most sensuous, fragrant flower in the garden you have forgotten. Don't underestimate this remedy. It is said when someone has activated the substance within, it is reflected in their shimmering eyes. When light, glowing, relaxed, subtle illumination, when dark, fixation on fixing, aggressive approach to healing. To go deeper, The Wind, One Brilliant Day by Antonio Machado. The nectar, the mystic, and Athelia cards are linked. It is the mystic who, like Krishna, turns poison into nectar, and it is true that it can often serve as a potent elixir for healing. This is great because I'm chronically ill. I thought that if I just fell in love, I'd get better. I knew it.
I fucking knew it too. I've been telling you.
So, I'll work on that. Sense the nectar within you. So cool. Dripping.
I know. You're freezing.
Dripping from the crown of the head and soothing the brain. Let it drip down the spine like sweet honey. Alright, that sounds awesome. I'm
That's
down.
lovely.
That's exciting.
That's so lovely.
I feel like that's wonderful news. I'll take it. So, I'm ready for my healing nectar boyfriend.
Like tomorrow.
Girl can dream. The offering, the gift, the present, the sacrifice. Unlike many of the other cards in the deck, the offering carries a clear as day message and call to action. Be ready. As you may have guessed, it is time for something to be given and given up for the sake of the bigger picture. If nothing comes to mind immediately, although it's likely it will, take time in meditation to consider what must be offered and who is receiving it. It's likely you'll feel attachment and hesitancy. You'll make excuses, but recognize the link between the word sacrifice and the word sacred. Oh, that's good. One leads to the other. When we offer up something to the greater good, we lighten our load and become more able to serve. Imagine for a moment if you were to offer your whole self unconditionally to the world. For now, start small. When light, generosity, donation, volunteering. Go when dark, giving. With expectations, keeping track. To go deeper, Odin's sacrifice of the eye in Norse mythology. Oh, because he got a magic eye after that. Once a week, Gandhi gave up speaking for the day, offering himself to divine silence. That sounds nice. I would do that. That sounds lovely. The offering can come in all shapes and sizes. If there is a gift you've been thinking of giving someone special, now is the time. What do you think you have to give up? You're so cool.
I know.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. There's not.
Oh, well, then it's time to meditate. Right.
Yep. I need to sit on that one.
Cool. That was fun. Oh, that was fun. I like the way your earth looks. It's really pretty.
It is really pretty.
Anyway, well, I'm about to pass out.